The brain's complexity dwarfs that of any existing computer. There are approximately 100 billion nerve cells, or neurons, in the human brain, almost as numerous as the stars in the Milky Way. Each of these cells has a negative electrical charge inside the cell and a positive charge along the outside of the cell membrane, in essence creating a tiny electric battery. Think of it as the brain's software, the world's most sophisticated search engine.
And I think this is relevant, a single neuron does not have the property of intelligence, but the large collection of neurons in our brains apparently do. This is true of things like language or DNA sequences or an ant colony. Relatively complex behaviors can arise out of relatively simple interactions. It's one of the more fascinating phenomena in nature and can be observed on many scales. Second, objective versus subjective. An objective property is one which is independent of the observer. It's a hard concept to pin down, but in general, anything which can be arrived at logically with an observation of evidence is objective. Subjective properties are dependent on the observer. We might call this opinion, but I think that's a narrow subset of subjective properties. At the very outset, I want to discard purely scriptural definitions of the soul. These are by their nature subjective, and there is nothing clear or objective about the scriptural description of the soul. I suspect that even a Jewish rabbi about 30 AD would not share the same precise definition of soul that Ray Comfort and Venom Fang X do. That's the problem with ancient holy books. They get reinterpreted by new generations of theologians. Even within the biblical literalist Christian sects, we would not have perfect agreement on the definition of a soul or mind. So if we set aside purely scriptural definitions, what can we say objectively about the soul? I think some of us at least would agree with the following defining characteristics. 1, it is eternal. 2, it is immaterial. 3, it contains the sense of self or self-awareness. 4, it contains the personality and or the morality. 5, in some capacity it acts on or originates our thoughts.